Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. Woo, my goodness gracious. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to do a live, even though probably only one person's going to be here. That'll be me. And that's okay because I didn't know I was going to turn this into a live, but I haven't done a live just on my own in a while. And I miss you. I really enjoy interacting in whatever fashion social media allows. And so I enjoy reading your comments, but I haven't been doing too many shares. So there haven't been many comments to read, and they hide my channel so intensely that I don't get to just interact in that manner because there's not too many comments because folks don't know that my little channel even exists. So it's just wonderful to do the lives because they're more intense and more interactive. And what I'm doing is so vital. And it's not about me. It's not about pat myself on my back because I really mean I'm just regular folk. But I recognize the hell of radiation and thereby for nobody, not a single Black person out here, to be investigating it to the level it needs to be investigated. I'm like, I can't go, even though I'm really comfortable not being up here. This place is social media. They've deliberately turned it into a hellhole. Using folks like Wayne Brady. Let me go on over to his photo. Let's see if that, yeah, I got him right on up over there. Using folks like Wayne Brady, and I know he's on TV supposedly, but they just embedded their true deluxe operatives, their fools ad nauseum, to give people a sense that reality is what the devil's telling you it is. And it's not. It is so not. And I'm going to have some fun up here. So welcome to to the one person who may be listening, friend or foe. I know even demons want to know the truth. And that's what I'm here to share. Oh my goodness, blistering truth that nobody else anywhere shares. Nobody would dare. That to me is like definitive proof that all these folks are working according to a script because there's so much more going on that we need to know, because it's not about Planet Nibiru. Oh, they don't talk about Planet Nibiru anymore. It's not about these daggone UFOs that they're shoving down everybody's throats. Because the real death, the real horror, they're putting it in our food, in the radiation, okay? And so what I had wanted to say originally is that I love being able to come up here and share with you, family. That might have been enough, outside of Fukushima and man-made radiation for me to say, oh, I like interacting with people, but it's not about me. It's about us. And I always keep that prominent in my mind. And because I see a lot of folks can get deluded and start to make a mistake that of thinking it's all about them, that they are the be all and end all and the last word of everything. No, 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 no. In your amazing comments, you educate me constantly. I am part of a nation. I am not the nation. But because of wonderful blessings, I've been able to how could I say, overcome many hurdles that will hamper so many of us, so that when we do see what they're doing to it within their media that they control, like through this fool Wayne Brady, some of us will then look at this as the definition of life and become depressed And this is something I'm stating, which needs to be always repeated for myself because of what I do. I'm talking about something that nobody else would dare. They wouldn't dare talk about. Not at all. Right. And I mean, all on big platforms. So I always have to put this out here because I am a naturally passionate person. And I can see through social media, through YouTube specifically, they're under orders from the satanic elites from the nuclear industry, which is not necessarily the satanic elite, but it's owned by the satanic elite. They refuse to give up nuclear, even though it is destroying all life and it is destroying the reality of even this planet. Even though it's doing all of that, they're not going to give it up because they'd rather destroy everything than not be in charge. They're just so absolutely freaked out that they can't do it. So I always put out here, when you hear joy in my voice, in what it's easier, I realize, to be positive in the memes. And I love that because I would be positive up here. My titles would be, I don't know, my titles would be, yeah, they've lost. All sorts of really just wonderful encouragements. But I know that as soon as I put anything encouraging as a title, it's going to get all of like 2 or 3 views. Um, so I just need to emphasize, oh my goodness, I've stepped up my running game. Woo! Dang! Girl be killing it. I've gotten to the point where now I can run 5 miles for the first day, 4 miles for the second day, and 3 miles for the third day. Oh my God. I remember when I couldn't get past like a mile by the third day. And so to be able to achieve that, it is such, what an incredible mood enhancement stabilizer. And even if I'm not running, my moods are phenomenal because so many things that wind up being, I don't want to undermine or undervalue the difficulty of being at what you consider an unscalable hurdle. I just want to tell you, keep doing the positive things. Keep eating better because the food is so friggin' poison. It is incredible if anybody's eating these, corporate kitchen foods, if you are not overcome with self-doubts, because it literally busting holes through your neurons in your brain. And that is eliminating your ability to have long-term projective thoughts so that you can plan and see beyond idiots like Wayne Brady. Right. And so I'm saying that out personally because I am triumphant. I am not fooling about that. I do not get on here or show my smiling pictures because I'm lying to you. I would never. I know what time this is. These are the last days. Sometimes I even want to exaggerate a little bit, but then I just sit back and say, oh no, Allah's watching. Keep it real, girl. Hey? And so this has no power over you. This fool right here, he ain't got no power over you. You own your reality. You own your decisions. You own your future. We have to do it as a nation because individually, we are only as strong as our nation is to protect us. So that's why we feel a little bit vulnerable because we are looking at, I'm not talking about the white people's nations. Oh, no, that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm going to go over in this and I am going to have so much fun. I'm just relaxing because I finished my running circuit. Tomorrow's my day off, so I don't have to just rush through nothing. And I haven't been up here with you in such a long time. So hopefully some people, more like maybe 5 people, will roll through and we can talk. And that'll be a beautiful thing. I can maybe even invite some folks up. That'd be cool, right? I'm just saying. Anything I'm sharing here, ooh, that beautiful fight down, I don't know if it was in Atlanta or what, but our people came to that brother's rescue, came to his rescue. That's beautiful. But I looked at that and I also said, but don't get it twisted. Okay? That was just, they love for us to get into physical brawls. They don't mind that. And the more we wake up, the more they're going to encourage that. The more they're going to, set stuff up. I'm not saying that was a setup. I think that was legitimate where that pontoon was parked right where the gambling casino boat was supposed to be. And the brother just moved it very nicely. He didn't scratch it or anything. And then all these white folks came out and wherever, I won't say where, but yeah, they just crawled on up and out and started beating on him, and he was still holding his own. And then I haven't watched the video, but I understand he flew his hat out up, and then our people just came on him and defended him to the nines. Oh my goodness, them white people, they didn't know what to do. What to do. That is beautiful. But I'm just telling you, it's bigger than that. It's on your plate. We need our nation. We need our separate consciousness so we can protect ourselves not only from this idiot, but from everything. So I've done my introduction. Before I even get into the conversation about Wayne, let me come on over here and see if there's anybody in here. Might not be. It is what it is. I know what the hell's going on. I'm going to show what the hell's going on. Let's see. Ooh, 10 beautiful people. That's a wonderful thing. Here we go. Unless you are our enemy, and it's not such a beautiful thing. Here we go. Oh, goody, it's off. So there we go. And oh, it's Queen. I know who I am. Yay. My dear sister. How you doing? Let's see now. Let's pop this out. Cause this is my favorite chat room right here. Cause it's black. Cause I got the background black. And greet everyone before I get into just breaking it down that fool. Ooh! Is brother Yappa. I'm excited now. Brother, I might even hang the toilet tissue the wrong way for you. I'm silly. And brother Daniel Campbell, how you doing, King? And General Mosquito, greetings to you. Ooh, and mighty wise, brother Truth Seeker 24. It's so good to see you, family. Thank you so much, Queen. I know who I am. I so appreciate that. All right, let's get into this, conversation. And yeah, and then we're gonna just I think I'm just gonna open it up and just, invite some good folks in if you want to come on in if you got the time. All right. Wayne Brady. Oh my God. He's come out as announcing he's pansexual with this friggin' ridiculous suit on. That's like real easy to figure he would do. And the thing is as I was researching about him to find out more, and I don't want to make any light digs about it because there's no person of our blackness that I feel embarrassed over at all. I can look at each and every single one of us, no matter how heinous, and recognize that is not what that person was intended to be. It is like Brother Yapo often says, the proximity to white people drives us insane because the white people they can't stop. They're I want to say it's their culture, their society, but it is so carcinogenic to life itself that you can't typify it as anything other than cancerous. And I think of it as thought born cancer because to promote just, love everybody, love everything, it's all about love is destructive to the foundation of all civilization, which is a family, structure, consistency, traditions, and the traditions have to make sense, but all of it has to be built on supporting the possibility for as sane a family as any society can achieve and in large masses. However, if the people's nature is given to that, and then it's an easier thing to do. But what you have swirlers out here who will say ridiculous things like, well, whatever white people are putting out about black us, they'll just run with it and do no further research because we have been indoctrinated in their school system, so we don't ask any further questions about what's really going on. And we've been given, with all the medical TV shows out there, this false worship of white people as the authority, the final arbiter of what is considered respectable. It's tied in with such childhood driven neurological first memory, first thoughts. It's like walking. You don't remember learning how to walk, but just try forgetting to walk. I forgot how to walk. I just, poop, it came and went. When most people, when they have traumatic brain injuries and they forget all different kinds of, data that was in their mind. And I'm actually going to go over someone who did suffer that condition. They don't forget the basics. Their heart doesn't forget how to beat. They don't forget how to walk, and a lot of memory, like how to play a piano. That'll come to them automatically because it's just been so wired into their automatic memory. And so when you have Procyon loters and swirlers, they literally believe the nonsense that they're putting out that we've proven ridiculous every single step of the way. Dismissing them is just so easy, but they always keep coming back with the same lies, the same BS, not because they believe they're lying, but because the indoctrination has happened so early on in their development. It feels like them. They don't know how to define themselves outside of that. And in any regard, they automatically look at lighter skinned people or white skinned people and give them just a complete and total deference. And same definitely with Wayne Brady. So when I was looking up his family history, I didn't find a damn thing other than the name of his mom and his dad. But he was suffering from so many different emotional problems. Let's see. I gotta get that. I don't want that right there. Let's see. I can go like that, and then that's good. Where is it? Right there. That's what I want. Oh no, that's not what I want. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Quick access will give it to me. These are the things that I edit out when I'm just doing a video. Um, hmm. Well, how can I get that quote from him? I hope I didn't get rid of it altogether, but all right. I had gotten a quote from him that I don't have with me right now. No, I got rid of that link. And in this quote, it said that he was so heavily picked on as a child. He had a pronounced stutter. Everybody bullied him. That was what he was saying. Everybody bullied him. That he decided with his own child, he didn't want anything of the such to happen uh, for them. He wanted his child to be protected. And so I guess when I'm not guessing, I know when you have such a sense of just trauma, sense of feeling like the whole world hates you, and then you got these indoctrinators coming at you, you've got a hunger to be seen with a certain amount of respect. You want to feel as if you can gain control over your definition of yourself. But no matter how much you work, if you're not embracing the truth, that definition will only just twist you up more inside, because low self esteem doesn't feel like low self esteem. You're not walking around constantly saying, I hate me, I hate me, I hate me. No, you're going to look at the macro society's definition of what's successful. And even those people who were bullying you, they weren't bullying you with the truth. They were awful. They were bullying you because you were vulnerable, because they came with the same indoctrinated through this devil society concept of what's good and what's bad. And so maybe you had a stutter. That is it. Usually when a child is stuttering, that's because they've been heavily pressured by their parents to perform perfectly. It's a horrible thing. And I wish anybody who has a stutter, an ability to either accept the imposition that puts on you, and by accepting that, find ways to lessen the impact of having a stutter. You might not ever be able to get rid of it altogether, but hopefully you'll surround yourself with people who will be supportive and who will work with you through your self doubt so that you can see your own beautiful humanity. And so that said, though, when it comes to Wayne Brady, I think it's like a child who's been sexually abused. And that could have been a factor in his life. I'm not saying whether it is. This is speculative on my part. All right. Um, but that child who's been sexually abused oftentimes is at more risk of becoming an abuser, him or herself, because in a way they're trying to work out what happened, but they give in to what happened rather than just accepting, some trauma is going to leave you damaged. It's going to leave you untrusting of the world around you in critical ways. And then you could also be assuming that everybody else on the outside, because they didn't suffer that they all got it together. And that's not the case for any of us. We all have hurdles. Ain't nobody getting through this life without pain. Nobody. You just have to get to the point where you understand that. And when it happens, you just recognize, I've been here before. It's awful. It's causing me agony. But I know if I just get up and keep doing day after day, I'm going to get on the other side of this too. Right? So that's the problem when children are used like they're just a piece of luggage, is you can burden them to the point where they just break. They break. And so I'm not saying that Wayne Brady was sexually abused, But usually sexuality will get bent up in the levels of abuse. When it comes to Black men, Black women who will identify themselves as part of the alphabet community, when you ask them questions, you find out that they were the overwhelming majority were sexually abused. And that creates a fear mindset, a circular fear mindset that most people, unless someone is going to really walk you through it, or you have an extraordinary, just, you are not going to give up. You are going to look at the commands of the Most High and you are going to follow them. Or you're just going to have an analytical capability that will help you to reestablish like it says, the creator, he makes everything new. He really, really does. But you have to approach it with a grown folk mind, not with a child mind. Because your child mind it's been worked on, it's been twisted, it's been just ripped apart. And you have the power to put it back together. But with this society coming on in and giving you false ideas of what's successful, Wayne Brady didn't survive it. He thought this a little, what? Why would he not be so satisfied with this Asian chick that now he's a pansexual? What? Right? I'm going to go over the definition of what a pansexual really is. And not what these LGBTQ folks say it is. Right? But I thought that, there would be no problems with Becky of whatever other nation she heralds from. Well, but obviously there is a problem. And that really is a shame because they got a biracial daughter based on it. Right? And they're not married anymore. They're divorced. And to me, that was never an actual legitimate marriage because he was never a full thinking man. He was bowing down to his trauma so that he thought, and most men, I'm not saying whether he thought it definitively or not, this is my analysis, that this is the more demure, submissive woman. That's what tends to make even white men want to get with Asian Becky rather than their own white woman. Because feminism has ruined all women. All women. It's ruined us. It's so that we don't know how to get along with people anymore. We don't know how to even value our families so that we can understand that our first duty is to our families. It ain't nothing when your final days come along. You really, literally are not going to be thinking about that career, that job, that thing that you had. You're going to be thinking about your relationships. You're going to be thinking about your legacy. Because you could be the most famous person in the world. Ain't nobody going to remember who the hell you ever were. Your family will, though. And if you left them something really wonderful and honest and real, they're going to cherish you. If you left them drama and confusion and they don't know where they belong because they don't belong nowhere because there's some biracials, there's not too much honoring going on for us as Black people. Right? So this woman here, I looked at this, I said, this is a broken Asian woman. Because in Asian societies, this ain't okay. This is definitively not okay. She could actually have been born in the unentitled snakes of America, in which case she's really broken. She's really broken where a lot of Asian people, they wish they could go back to their own original country, even if it's just to visit their family there. And their family don't take them seriously. Even if they're fully Asian, they don't say, oh, welcome home, you're great, wonderful. And they worship them and think that they should be getting their cues on what to do for their coming generations from these American born children. No, they look at them as if they're lost. And in that way, in a funny way, it loses them. They don't know where they fit. Because the white people always ask them, ooh, what country you come from? And that drives them crazy. And because that is a reminder that they don't see you as American. Right? And so for her to be this desperate to peddle her flesh around like this, that's a lot of confusion. That's a lot with her parents. Who knows how long, many generations they were here. But this is not Asian culture and traditions. There's going to be a discord somewhere in her family that would lead her to peddle her flesh like this. And thereby for this dude to want to be with her, she even got in Asian societies, even showing cleavage, they would call this a prostitute. They have really just a very strict sense of what is respectable as a woman. So he's with the bottom of the barrel Asian Becky. I don't care what her face looks like, because who knows how she got it chopped up. They chop up their faces at a rate higher than anybody else on the planet. He's with the bottom of the barrel. She's got low self-esteem. That does not look like low self-esteem because she has taken in the indoctrination of the thought-born cancer. So that she thinks this is a power move to be running around showcasing your least skilled attributes, your flesh, is some sort of power. And any man of any respectability as far as his critical thinking skills knows this is a vulnerability. He knows when he's looking at you, how can I work that? I know I could work that real quick. I'm not saying me, I'm saying as a man, right? That's why dad is amazing. Daughters, you need to listen to dad when he tells you, nah, you ain't going out this house like that. Right? But this was what Wayne Brady was with back in the time he was with it. And he thought that he was going to be able to give birth to a child that would be more protected than he is. And all of that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for him. A beautiful brother, Neely Fuller. I always want to call him doctor, but he says pointedly he's not a doctor. He said that as these people keep trying to talk you into thinking that being homosexual is okay, you need to recognize that it's just a sexual, spurt. It's like, I'm paraphrasing right now, but it's just, getting your jollies off because there's nothing that comes from it. There's no responsibility attached to it. That's why they have these friggin', what they used to have, the bathhouses where things that they do in those bathhouses were just like nasty. There'd just be a hole in the wall, right? That's all I need to say. That literally a hole in the wall. Okay. And so once that, like you're just you're using sex as a drug, sex addicts, you're just using it to get to the next titillation. Once that's gone, because you have nothing attached to that relationship that just borders on, I'm responsible here. When you have your righteous woman beside you and you know you are part of a righteous nation, your responsibilities not only keep you in line, they give you joy. They give you joy. Just like me running gives me joy. As much work as it is, that's the reward from the Most High. He makes all things new, right? And so once you can accept reality and what it means for you as a man and as a woman, you're in harmony. It makes sense. But no measure of the thought-born cancer is going to make sense. And so you are just engaging in a titillation. And the next thing you know, Asian Becky ain't enough. She ain't enough because she never was meant to be. She's not your woman. Right? So let's keep it going because I got so much. Oh my God. So yeah, he says he's pansexual, like he actually knows what the hell he's saying when he's saying that. Because they're trying to normalize it. They got Black Us being the face of all these crazy, freaky deaky things. So Janelle Monáe also came out saying, oh, I'm pansexual too. Now, I don't know if it's true. It could be a rumor. But somebody says something about a chicken leg. You know, she got all happy with a chicken leg, and she said it in an interview somewhere, but I couldn't find any reference to it. But they scrubbed the media. So that is as reported. I'm not saying that that's the truth, but I would not be surprised because that's actually the definition of pansexual. However, if you go around the web and you're looking for the definition of pansexual, they overwhelm you with the alphabet crew and their definition of it. Right? So I can't say that because if I say what is in QUEERY, they think that that's an insult, but they can say about themselves, and that's all right because, you know, we use that N word. And I agree 100% when it's coming from them, it's meant as an insult. So, no, you can't call us that. Right? So I won't say that word, but this is on one of their sites. Okay. So the past and popular usage of the term pansexual. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm going to highlight a particular thing that I found. But 1914 is the first introduction of pansexual as a term. And the origin derived, I do believe, from Freud. And it wasn't meant as a flattering term, but it was meant to describe this just, I don't want to call it a subculture because so many of them engage in it, where these persons had absolutely no structure around their focus when it comes to physical relationships, hyperly engaged physical relationships, because it's not intercourse, as Dr. Africa said. It's not intercourse. That means it's a man and a woman because somebody is going into a course, and there's possibilities and potentials at the other end of that. So with these dudes, this is just perversion. It's a perversion, a diversion from what sustains civilization. And so in this article, you know, they're actually celebrating this whole thing of pansexuality based on Kinsey. I forget what Kinsey's first name was, Edward or whatever the heck, but it's throughout the article. I don't know if I'll be able to find it because it was a long article, but they mention it's a wonderful thing that we can now do this because of the proactive work of Kinsey. Let's see. Is it over here? Derived from the Greek. And this is important. It's derived from the prefix pan, which I'm going to go through where that pan part of it comes from. Right? Ah, there it is. Alfred. In fact, it wasn't until the 1940s that the pioneering, oh my God, that's something you respect. Oh, a pioneer. Oh my goodness. Wow, I want to be a pioneer. Nobody uses that term and it's an insult. So for them to say that Alfred Kinsey was pioneering sex research, they make it sound like he was doing wonderful things. So what are they attaching this promotional insistence? We just look at pansexual as oh, they just, they love all genders. Gender is a trick bag, right? They're using gender because they can't use the word sex because there's only two sexes. Gender is a societal construct where they attach their traditions of what makes you feminine, what makes you masculine, and they're just trying to mirror image that into a broken, fractured multiplication of lunacy. When nobody's changed their sex, they would have to go into their DNA, every single cell in their body, and change it right there with those genetic strands. Nobody's doing that. So it's still just two sexes. So when they say pansexuals are open to everything, what about the term bisexual? But notice it's bi-sex, not bi-genderal. It's bisexual. So that means two, just two. When they say pansexual, pan means all, bi means two. But there's only two sexes. So that means pansexuals will get their jollies from anything they feel like. It's all. It's not this daggone definition that these folks have set up for everybody to believe it is, because otherwise just say bisexual. If all you mean is people, then just say bisexual, because there's only two sexes. The gender thing don't make any sense, right? If I say I live in a house, I live in a house, not an apartment. If I say I live in a home, then you're going to wonder, where you live? Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a tent? Right? These terms are very, very critical, and these pink folks know that. They are friggin' anal retentively fixed on the exact definitions of words. So let's go on to who Kinsey was. Critics, sex ed a sham since Kinsey used pedophiles' data. That's all he used pretty much. And a bunch of friggin' felons, guys in prison, women in prison, weirdos, broken people. Okay? So, is the basis for America's sex education completely wrong? Oh, you're daggone right it is, when they're bringing in children like they're supposed to. What? I don't even want to say what they're bringing children into. Right? It's so disgusting. When you bring that up, then sorry, but yes, you have to defend not just your own individual selves, but your sane, righteous nation. You have to. Ain't no, maybe I can work it out with the devil. You can't. Let somebody come near your child. How you gonna get right then and there? Well, we have to plan as grown-ups to defend our nation, right? So, is the basis for America's sex education completely wrong? A conservative group believes so. It ain't conservative, just about life, okay? Citing the fact that the father of America's sexual revolution relied on a pedophile for his conclusions about children. I'm sure most of us have researched more on Kinsey, but you don't see the mainstream media pretty much acknowledging that. Although, I have to say, the next one here, This is in Newsweek. Weird science. But they put it in kind of cute, funny terms. You know, we saw that movie, Weird Science. Ooh, that's so funny. This is the higher and further in you go to white society, the crazier they're going to make you. Because you don't call this weird science. You call this intolerable. You call it pedophilia. Hey? But they even had to acknowledge, oh, Kinsey's pedophile. Oh my. Right? But these people who are promoting pansexuality think Kinsey's wonderful because they want to have sex with children. All of them, they'll say no. But I'll say it all leads to that because any gay pride parade you see, there's always NAMBLA pulling up the rear. North American Man Boy Love Organization. You think that was started by Black people? You think Wayne Brady started NAMBLA? But all they got is Janelle Monáe and Wayne Brady. Like they're the only ones who would embrace something so steeped in a history of evil. Evil. Here's their depiction of Pan, the half man, half goat. They've changed the depiction of him as time has gone on so that right now it's just a representation of Baphomet, of the devil, of Satan, Lucifer, whatever. It all comes back and they all blend together, such as Pan is considered a Greek god. And he was actually originated from before the establishment of the Greek gods, which was established by the hoity-toity of ancient Greek society, because this was associated with shepherds and people living in rural areas. And that's why, but his lore, just the entrenchment of Pan as a figure within their society was irrefutable. There were a lot of nature gods that they had that just kind of passed away, but Pan, he stayed because he was the god of the poor folks, of the shepherds. And they needed shepherds. It's not like they were going to suddenly like have goats and, you know, all kinds of cows roaming through their fancy cities. So that created a division. And these dudes, they be having sex with them goats out there because when you research Pan, you find out that they were often out there all by themselves. For them, that's an excuse to boink a goat. For us, sorry, dudes, no. Okay? So that's why you often, because they would also play music to stave off their loneliness, but you'll often see Pan depicted with lots of animals. He's often green. That's the Disney movie, Peter Pan, which was all about, I mean, Disney, that's what he did. He abused children. And they've created it into a whole society where even that 3-3, they're just a bunch of Masons. All they're doing is trying to protect what is in their nature, not ours. Who constructs such an elaborate friggin' micromanaging, obsessive, compulsive society because they don't want to admit, I like little goat stuff every now and then. I'm not saying they all do, but that's what Pan's about. And as a matter of fact, let's keep it going. There we go. That's as much as I wanted to show you that because it's disgusting. This is probably a replica, I don't know if the original or not, of a statue that was found in the ruins of Pompeii. Pompeii was replete with pornographic murals and statues. And one of their favorites was Pan, doing what they do. So much so that Pan is depicted as a goat himself. But this is supposed to be a shepherd, right? And you know all the rumors about them Greeks, right? I mean, black Greek societies and also the ones in Greece, right? I said rumors. I didn't say whether factual or not, but all I know is these Greek letter organizations. Thank you, Baba Steve Coakley, for just exposing what they mean to us, including the boule. Thank you so much. And the sororities too. I mean, they're not capable of this sort of stuff, but I'm just saying, all right? So I have this quote here on this, which was a history, the Pan, the goat-footed god of the countryside, where while Pan, and this was so in such white speak, that they will temper every single expose about themselves because of that embarrassment. They know it's wrong. They know it's twisted, but they have a limited ability to just stay rooted in what is good for everybody. I don't wish anybody harm. I am not about just genocide. And I'm going to get to that part too at the end. But I'm just saying, if you got some sort of issue, some sort of problem, I don't really know if they can work it out because we gave them religion and they tried just to turn it into Christianity, which is meant to be a weapon, right? And so I don't know if they can work it out because even with all of that, with the, what did they use a whip to flail themselves, the priests, so they could get rid of impure thoughts? Where in Aboriginal societies do you see original people having to beat themselves so they could get rid of impure thoughts? So yeah, there's an issue. There's a big problem with these folks. But anyway, while Pan could be a pleasant and helpful companion, that's just like all operatives out here, because folks will say, oh, but they say such good things sometimes. They can't be all bad. I'm just listening to them because, they're so entertaining. Yes. Most psychopaths are very entertaining, very captivating. That's how they get you. Okay. So he could also inspire dread. Pan was said to be the source of fear. Why would he be somebody who was fearful? Because he had no respect for anybody's boundaries, anybody's age, anything moving and not moving was fair game. And I'll show you about that too. But that came upon people in the wilderness, meaning he'd just see you there and whoo, he got you. Right? Coming out from his caves at night, he sometimes startled flocks and caused them to run. What? This is whiteism, smoke and mirrors. We're not going to come out and say exactly what it is, but you can just get the implication from it. What the hell's going on? So that's where, from his name, we get the word panic. And then the article goes on to state how they would use these Pan folks to absolutely take down whole armies because they were so disgusting. They were so degenerate. They're like, characters from Game of Thrones. I can't remember the characters' names, but who had no moral rootedness whatsoever. Whatever the hell entered their minds, that's what they would do. Okay? So that's a pansexual. How you gonna tell me you ain't gonna look up what this stuff really means? You ain't gonna know what Alfred Kinsey brought to the world by seeing who he was actually studying, saying that children, I don't want to say it, but I'm just gonna say it, would experience, I can't say it, would experience sex like a grown-up would. You nasty degenerate. I mean, woo, what should have been done to Alfred Kinsey, we should just dig him up and do it anyway, okay? Um, and going on, let's see what I'll get to that one after that. Let's see what I got here. Okay, that was me getting that. Okay, I got stuff on here on the CIA controlled one. So let me go on over here, and peace to everybody who's coming on in. This is a pansexual right here. Okay. I can't even show you the photo, the other photo that was so disgusting of this dude who was on TLC, who was in love with his car. I don't even know what kind of car it is because I don't care. Right. I cars and all the rest of it. I have never been into materialism. I've always wanted to know, what are you about? I want to know what career you got. Who are you? Who are you? What are your dreams? Right? With these folks here, that's not where they come from. That's not where they're rooted. It's in their legends. Romulus and Remus, the story of how ancient Rome was founded. Right? Romulus was a spiritual one. He went and studied from the ancients, meaning he went to Africa. Okay? Whereas, let's see, no, Romulus was the superficial one. Remus was the spiritual, intelligent one. And I think we have also legends of Remus being a wise old man. But with the Roman story, Romulus killed Remus. And because he was like, look, you're going to cloud everything up with all of this do right and, be good. And I just want to build cities. They were supposed to share the founding of Rome. And so that Romulus would build the structures and take care of the highways, and Remus would take care of the spirituality of the people. But Romulus was like, what I need you for? And he killed them. That's in their stories. And they were raised by wolves, a pack of wolves. Okay? And so this is Pan. This is where you have no rules. Okay? But in the story Daily Mail, which is just a total friggin' satanic rag, but I read it because I want to know what these devils are talking about or trying to convince people of. So Arkansas man who was in a what with his soulmate, why are you presenting it as if this is even possible without going over the implications, the destructive force of not being able to think straight, so that you would try to offer that man some help, even if it's a bullwhip, so that he could just rid himself of his impure thoughts. I'm not going to scroll down to the rest of the story because the photos is just disgusting. Okay? So let's go on to the next one, because this is what these people are about. This is what they are trying to acclimate us to. I've warned. I said they're going to want to go back to their outdoor orgies. I know they have orgies. We know they have orgies. I'm talking about where you just walk out on the street and you trip over them. Right? And so porn stars walk out of European sex championships. What? Declaring it chaos. They're trying to make it seem here as if, oh, yes, it's really awful. And we agree it's awful. But this was the inaugural tournament. What? Why would you even call it something like this? Why would that even be plausible for these people to get there and in front of an audience have a free fest of just, oh my goodness, the categories. You can read them for yourself. I'm not going to read them, right? But these are things they would perform in front of judges and in front of an audience. This is not a person in blackface. It's just in one of them BSDM bondage face masks or whatever. And so, yeah, that's them. There's one biracial looking fool up here. Selva, whatever the heck. She was representing Spain. And literally, they have it like in categories according to country. right? You don't see any African nations up in here. You don't see any Caribbean nations up in here. Hallelujah for that. We're still a little sane. But Wayne Brady ain't, right? Janelle Monáe ain't. I'm so glad she's having problems with her career. Thank God. Please, nobody ever, ever, ever pay a dime to see anything with Janelle Monáe in it. And if she's in it, please let her get beat up in it. I'm not saying in real life. I wish her no harm physically. But I never watched it, but I understand. I forget what movie it was, slave movie it was. She was a character in, and she got beat up at the end. And that delighted Dr. Z. And through him in describing it, it delighted me too. But she was a character, and I recognize that. Okay. But I just, as a person, she means us absolutely no damn good. Right. So this is them. This is not us. Right. Every time I go on over to Zero Hedge, which I don't think I have any Zero Hedge stuff here, but every time they're talking about the downfall of America, and they're, focusing it on the deviants, they've got black us front and center. Front and center, okay? So, Mr. Popular man 28 who's attracted to inanimate objects claims he's in an intimate relationship with multiple balloons. This is an Indian, a darker, not really too dark skin, Indian man. Oh my goodness, have the Indians been Procyon lotered out of their damn minds? They think it's a compliment that half of them probably don't even know how to speak their own native language anymore. They speak the English they speak in England, right? They're out of their minds. I don't know. They also, though, they have a long history. They're not black us. They're not black us. And so they have a long history of degeneracy amongst their own. They recognize through their face, okay, that's not okay. But when the devil comes on in, and with these Asian movies that I watch, oh my God, they've got so much Baphometic iconography up in there. They're not even hinting that they're being recruited to Satanism. They just are. Right. And so this is just, I ain't going any further with this one. This is just like, okay, keep it moving. Right. That's not us. I'm not saying that they don't have lunatics out there who are black. Right. Who are promoting this sort of stuff, but that's not our nature. Right. So Biden's married non-binary nuclear waste girl who stole woman's $2,325 bag was an African woman. I found out later, but I wasn't in the mood for talking about this fool again. All right. But from airport hosted spanking seminar at kink conference just weeks later under nuclear nerd nickname that's still in use on fetish hookup site. I mean, this guy, he's disgusting. This is just a bunch of ropes that he has. And he was the head of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission in terms of making sure that stuff was radiologically safe. I would hazard a guess that that's why they're allowing Fukushima food in. He did his job. And now he's been fired because he's a felon. But at the same time, he got the job done because these folks have no anchor to what perpetuates civilization. If you cannot enter into relationships that will perpetuate you and keep your children genuinely safe, you have absolutely no fidelity to larger civilization whatsoever. I remember when I gave birth to Elijah, suddenly I was connected. Before that, I was just a child and I didn't know it. I didn't have him until I was about 38. And Suddenly, a dude driving down the road with his music blaring. I suddenly realized that is really disruptive because there I was dying for some sleep. It was the middle of the day, and it was the one time that Elijah could go to sleep. And here comes this blaring speaker system that woke him up. And I was just like, that has to be some young guy, doesn't have a child, doesn't know that he's connected to the society around him. He wants to just, do a size contest with his speakers, right? When you become a parent, you suddenly realize, whoa, I'm connected here. I remember when I was pregnant, even I had like this, and my, I wouldn't say it wasn't a vision. It was just like a feeling where I could feel myself all the way back to my female ancestors, each one, all the way back, because I recognized that I was keeping our line going all the way back to our creation by the hands of Allah. What an honor! What an honor! And you suddenly see, oh my goodness, my child's future is dependent on your child's future, on what's going on with your family and the family next door and the ones next door to that. These fools here with their sexual addictions don't feel any of that. So this dude, Britain, he would have looked at, oh, we're going to let Fukushima food in. What do I care? Just keep the party going. Just keep it going. Right? That's pansexuality right there. And he just he'll do anything. Okay. I've read a lot about him. I just haven't talked about him. But and I can look at this something evil in them eyes of his. I'm just saying. All right. And this one here, I'm just saying, this isn't us. Ben Levin. This is up in Canada, where this dude was pretty prominent. I mean, they are really hunting the Canadians. Oh my God. It's I feel for them, but he was a tenured professor at the University of Toronto, right? Former Ontario deputy education minister. And his saying, where he was on, let me just read the whole thing. In his off hours, he liked to frequent an online incest chat room to counsel single moms on how to sexually assault their daughters. I'm just saying, this is disgusting. I don't want to read anymore, but I have one more thing to share with you. And then if anybody wants to come on in, I'll open up the platform. But here it goes right here. Okay, we got Wayne, and let's open that up and go to the next one. And we could skip that. This is from a documentary. This is, oh my God, I hope I don't cry, but I don't like any children being harmed. It's so, I don't understand that. I don't fathom that. So let me step away from just empathizing with any child who's being harmed. This is a story of two twins or two brothers who are twins. And one of them, this one picture right here, was in a horrific car accident when he was 16 years old. I think it was actually was it a car or a motorcycle accident, something. And his helmet came off and he suffered a cranial injury that luckily he didn't die, but all his memories were gone, except for, like I said, he ain't forget to walk. He ain't forget to do all the basic things that are just hardwired into that more primitive amygdala section of your brain. He didn't forget any of that. And surprisingly, he didn't forget his brother, who I don't remember what the names were, but he immediately, when he saw his brother, he greeted him by name. Everybody else, he didn't even know he was in a hospital, didn't know his mother, didn't know his father, didn't know his home, didn't know what a bicycle was. But he could ride the bicycle really well, right? And so his brother gave him a whole story about their childhood that was just like out of a fairy book almost. Right. And it turns out it was true that his family, his parents came from dukes and, lords and all the rest of that hoity toity white folk stuff. And he presented his, oh yeah, mom, she's really wonderful. He said, our mom is cool. Mom's real cool. Right. But he did notice his father had issues, so on and so forth. But it turns out he never got his memory back. Then they've actually written a book about their experiences. But it turns out that when their mother died, he felt grief for the loss of the mother, but his other twin brother didn't feel anything. And he thought that that was cruel, and he wanted to know what was going on. And he finally asked him the question, were we sexually abused? Did our mother sexually abuse us? And his brother just admitted, yes, she did. All right. So you can watch it on HBO yourself, or not HBO, on Netflix yourself. It's called Tell Me Who I Am. All right. It's very good. I would say it's very good. And it's heart wrenching because you don't want this to happen to anybody. Right. And so this is the twin who didn't know. He's watching a video that his brother did, and his brother is speaking here because his brother is so traumatized by that protracted abuse that he can't speak it to his brother. He was not only giving his twin brother a better concept of their family, but he said for him, not going over it made him feel as if he could believe the lies that his family was perfect. Right? So in video, he's confessing to what happened. He says, my mother would take us into her room. She would take us into her bed. I am not going to go over the detail that they put in the documentary, right? Because it's just horrifying, right? But one of the other things was she would do things that no mother should ever do to their child. Not only did she want to do those things for her own gratification, she then passed us around to her friends. This is them. This is a mother who, through him explaining it, if she was in a constant conversation with all sorts of people, people would gravitate to her. Why? Because she was pimping her own damn children. I don't call them damn. Hopefully they can work it out. They're both married now. I hope they aren't doing this to their own children. Because you can say no. Ain't no excuse for anybody ever to abuse a child. I don't give a damn what the hell happened to you in your own childhood. You have the power to say, I am stopping any nonsense right here. Okay? So hopefully they both have some acceptance of the damage that their childhood caused to them so that they can learn how to make everything anew. Okay? So this is what these people do. And I'm sharing this because ultimately, where are you, Wayne? Where are you, Wayne? Oh, you're over here. I think you're over here. Yeah. Right there. Okay. Let's go back to you. Where are you? Are you there? Nope, that's before. There you are. Ultimately, this is a giant distraction. It's all Baphomet, Pan, whatever, Bacchus. It's all their nature they're trying to use as a weapon, like they did with Pan. there were adherents to the pan philosophy who that's where the word panic comes from in the first place. They would use them to destroy other armies. Probably one of the reasons why Rome was as successful as it was, and they were wearing them little daggone skirts as they were going. What, you going into battle and you got some short little Roman skirts on? What's that for? Right? I'm just saying. We are dealing with a people that we need to do a beeline and separate from them. We are more than enough for ourselves. And so I'm sharing some truth here about how scared these people are and why they are doing all of this to use us as a face of lunacy, so that their white people can have no more white guilt about doing what them boat people did on the harbor, right? This is just like, what the hell is wrong with you? Right? They want to bring back Jim Crow days, but they want white people to feel like it's reverse Jim Crowism going on rather than reverse racism, which is no such damn thing. Right? We'd have to have our own society, our own nation, and then drag them suckers on in to slave away for us for several generations and then work on utterly destroying them. Now, that's a nebulous concept there. Okay? That would then qualify as racism because they've given a foul name to simply loving what the Creator made you to be. And so in the middle of that, they don't want to be exposed. And that's what the radiation is for. And that's what I am here to let you know is vital that we get out that word. Because here is the proof. This is a little bit of Stupid Like the Sussexes, where I captured the website International Atomic Energy Agency, their Maris maps, where every single one of these daggone dots is a spot where they found radiation. And it's just also where they tested. It would, if it's in all of these areas, it would be in every single just drop of ocean water. Right? And so I used to be able to click on this sucker and this would come on up where I would be able to tell what it was composed of. This says 3H, so that's tritium. And then I also have gone over just how deadly tritium actually is. And they have not put that truthful information out, same as they haven't put out there who Pan was. Okay? So now I notice, and this was wild, and as heck, where's right there? There it is, International Atomic Energy Agency map. I did a share where I was, or live, I think, where I was trying to open this up. Sucker would not open. It would not open. And I thought, oh my goodness, it just would stay like that. Okay. Now I'm going to divulge how I think they might have changed it since then, because I did a video screen share so that I could have a record of how they've changed the website. But I just want you to know, this is how much they don't want us to know. You need to leave that damn CMOS alone. It's a genocide. And they're using Wayne, Brady, and every single fool out here. What's her name? Suki Hana, Dr. Umar, all the agents who are telling us a damn thing. Won't even talk about 9 billion missing crabs. Right? They changed it now. So it comes up, if I did do that back thing, I'm sure they're going to bring in their webmaster. There's a lot of people out there making an awful lot of money based on me exposing the agencies that are hiring them. Okay. So they'll bring a webmaster in and they'll change that. But when I came here and I clicked on something, now there's no information whatsoever. It's not going to tell you what's in that water because it's a genocide. How would an international agency that's supposed to be telling the truth? They know they're there for the nuke industry. This is set up by the nuke industry. But they then tell the World Health Organization exactly what to say and what not to say about man-made radiation. How the hell you not going to show that every single one of these dots is bristling with radiation because there is no safe dose? And sea vegetation sucks up thousands of portions of whatever is in the water. It concentrates it in its flesh. And these little dots, where are they not? Where are they not? They go to Caribbean, right? There they are. There they are. All through the Pacific. And let me go on over to Japan. Look at Japan. Whoa. Whoa. They've been busy up over there, haven't they, huh? I wonder why. Okay? I'm just saying, I can't go here anymore. And I did a search because I was just like, wait a minute, this is crazy. Why won't they let me? When you download the selected data, you have to now sign up and agree to their terms and conditions. What? In order to get the information that would save our lives, that would prove these people are trying to kill us and keep us distracted with BS. Whoops, what is that? Okay, hold on a second, family. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. I missed that call. Sorry, I missed that call. But yeah, this is what they're doing. So because that was a important call, probably I'm going to just shut this on down. But I just wanted to highlight, we got this. We got this. All we have to do is share. And if you're overwhelmed and done with sharing, go to 25,000yearcycle.org, where you can avail yourself of folks who we're working for you. We are so done with this lying society that we just put the real in every single thing that we do. And you could find all my products up on here, my books, which I'm in the middle of writing my third novel, which is so much fun. Oh my goodness. It's like running. I've suddenly, like, once you get used to, okay, yes, this is difficult. This is difficult. And then it's so satisfying, just like with defending our nation. It is an incredible rush. I'm like, oh my God, this story is so good. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But you could come here and you could get these books, which every single cover was done by the mighty Yapo Yapa. He's got his own books on Amazon, and his queen, the beautiful, wise sister, Angela Riley. Also, people writing for us, not insulting us. Right? And this one, you need this book. That's just a fact. Right? And one of the amazing things that Brother Z did is he's got it here as an ebook. I think this is the ebook. Yep, the ebook. So you could download it and read all you need to read, because the radiation bioaccumulates. Right? And you keep on going, and there's more products and all the rest of that. Let me come on over to the chat room. And oh, nope, there we go. Okay. And oh wow, I like that. Let's see. There. Love you. Okay, so let me greet again Brother Yapa Yapa, Daniel Campbell, General Mosquito, Queen, I Know Who I Am, True Seeker 24. Let's see. The Found Empress. And who else? I think that's everybody. Ooh, and King Maya Bisay. Good to see you. What's it? You have to go back to the beginning. A pansexual, pan means all. No distinction. That's what it means. It means they'll have sex with anything, including children. Why would you promote something so vile? Why wouldn't you look at the history so you could understand who Pan was? That's who it's based on. Why would the word panic mean terror? Not, oh, warm, cuddly, it's all about love. No, because Pan and the adherents of Pan would run through villages. They would use them on other invading armies, or they would invade other places and rape and pillage ad nauseum, in the most vile, disgusting ways. That's what panic means. That's the reason for the word. That's a pansexual. It means all. And it's regardless, it's all. It's cars, is whatever. Yeah, my strange addiction. Exactly. Let me see if there's anyone I miss, and then I'm gonna get on out of here. Brother Nano John, how you doing, King? It's good to see you. Okay, I got that up over here, and that's not what I wanted right there. Okay, and let's see. And Avatar 7x7. Let's see. Folks will do anything for fame and money. Nobody cares what Wayne Brady does in his private life. He needs to keep that. He does, but it's a sickness. And unfortunately, it infests with your first notice of it, because it's hard for these folks don't keep their secrets inside the house. They come out and everybody in the neighborhood notices that they don't have a normal family life. I'm not saying that I want to stop them, and somehow we have to separate. We have to heal. They could have their own little nation and just be honest and do what you want to do with you. But why do we have to be like terrorized, panicked in order to go along with them? Ooh, I love you, Uganda, and all the African nations that are doing their best to reject this lunacy. And now these Western nations are threatening them and telling them, no, you have to. Why? Isn't that tyranny? Isn't that what Hitler wanted to do? Tell others that you got to do this. Right? No, that's not our culture. That's not our nature. We recognize it as dysfunctional. When you destroy families, you are dysfunctional, because sane families where the children have a measure of consistency, of understanding of the importance of both the man and the woman, that's what builds civilizations. Lunacy, chaos, no, that destroys them. That destroys them. That's panic. Peace, beloved warrior status. How are you? And I guess that's everybody. Thank you so much. Anyone who came on in. Yes, thank you. Oh, Queen, I know who I am. You just are just. You are so wonderful. I have no words. So yes, please assist me in doing what I do, because what I do is not about getting big bucks. Trust and belief. You could go to my Patreon and see what I get each month. All right. I'm doing what I'm doing because that radioactive warning is critical. It is the missing piece to the puzzle, and they are using all these operatives to make sure we keep missing that piece, because it's on our plates. It's on our plates. Okay. So that's it. I'm done. I love your family. Peace. Straight Black Family Pride is, oh, brother DA Sound Productions. Good to see you, King. Straight Black Family Pride, and we own forever. Oh, thank you, the Found Empress. I love you too. You're so very welcome. That's it. I'm here to let you know this is a time we say hallelujah, not, oh my God, the devil's going to win. No, he's already lost. Okay. Okay. I love you. Yes. Go to 25,000 Years Cycle and buy what all the stuff there works. That's just a fact. Okay. So go see what you need for you. There's food lists there, which will improve you. I'm a 60-year-old woman. I ran 5 miles the day before last, 4 miles the day after that, and today, this morning, I ran 3 miles, and I feel phenomenal, phenomenal. Why? Because I'm some sort of strange creature? No, that's because I'm melanated, and that is our power. We have a absolute power to repair ourselves as long as we are doing the right thing for ourselves. Okay? All right. Love you. Peace, everyone. Get the lights. That's right, brother Yapo. I'm out.